I don't like that. A wiggy. What's up to everybody out there? It is the Sneaks and Stats podcast, episode 29. I am Sneaker Peter.
And that makes me Statty Daddy.
Thank you for watching episode 29. Please subscribe to our YouTube, smash that like button, comment, whatever you like. Follow us on all our social media, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok Talk.
TikTok Talk. That's where we talk TikTok.
That's where we talk ticks. Ew.
That's where we talk Tic Tacs.
I don't have those, I swear.
So,
Tic Tacs?
I'm going to need to see some medical proof.
Yeah. Please forgive me for my voice. I am just getting over a baby cold.
You sound real attractive, though. It's like real deep and...
This is really how it sounds.
Very good.
That was bad.
That worked out very well.
That worked out good. Yeah, it's starting to rain out here in LA if you are not from LA.
And so we're all getting sick. We hate the water falling from the sky.
Literally everybody has something right now.
If it's not sunshine, it's not fun time.
It's not fun time.
That's the LA motto.
Funshine.
Funshine. All right, enough goofing around.
Yeah, let's get to brass tacks.
They're on the wall. We're going to peel everything off until we find them. Yeah.
Another crazy week in the NBA.
Yeah, another fun week.
A lot of violent games.
An incredibly violent week in the NBA.
Bro, I don't understand it.
I guess at least the players are taking the in-season tournament seriously.
I think so
guess.
too. Yeah.
Based on the amount of violence. Mm-hmm. Draymond on poor old Rudy Gobert, which I saw someone point this out.
WWE.
If Draymond had choked out like Luka,
yeah.
Oh.
No, it would have been a fight.
He would have been suspended for like 20 games if it wasn't human punching bag Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. No, seriously. That's what I told you guys yesterday. I was like, he went after him because he knows Rudy Gobert will not. Yeah. They have beef. He took it as an opportunity. Okay, this is my opportunity to get him.
Because Draymond, little history, Draymond made fun of Rudy for crying when he did not get voted into the All-Star game or just selected, I think, by the coaches.
Yep.
And then Rudy won Defensive Player of the Year a few times when Draymond felt like he should have won it.
Yeah.
And then like the game before the fight, the Wolves were like getting chippy with the Warriors. They played each other twice in a row. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, it was like Anthony Edwards, and then he kind of went off after they had their little scuffle. And then they played each other again, and it was just like, for sure, something's going to happen. And right in the first couple minutes of the game, too.
It was 0-0. I saw that this is the first time since the merger, the ABA-NBA merger, that 3 players have been tossed before any points have been scored.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a cool stat.
Yeah, super weird.
That is so...
I guess Clay airballed a 3. And that was the only shot attempted or something.
And it was very childlike, the fight, because it was like, pull the jersey.
Yeah, it was just like they were going to get into it going down the court.
Yeah.
And, it's been really weird hearing a lot of mostly former players backing Draymond.
Yeah.
I do think in general, because Rudy is a European player, I still think there's a stigma with European players is like they're soft and I think generally most at least former players are going to back a US guy just in general. Is my thoughts on that, but also people were saying Draymond couldn't have seen that Rudy was just to me it looked like he was just trying to stop Clay and Jaden McDaniels from getting into it.
And it looked like he had Clay in a headlock as well.
It looked like
it.
Kind of like I don't think he did on purpose. I think he was just trying to grab him to either support him or just stop the fight.
Yeah.
And then Draymond comes in.
And here comes Draymond.
And just never stopped until someone literally ripped him off.
I was like, he's gonna take him all the way to the back.
And then Rudy clapped back, man. Rudy was like, this guy, he can't choke well because if he could, I would have been passed out.
Yeah.
He's a clown, and Steve Kerr knows he's a clown. Mm-hmm. And then he said one more thing, like I don't remember. He said he knew that Draymond was going to do something to get himself ejected because he doesn't want to play without Steph,
That's
out
what
with an
it is.
injury.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh,
wow,
that's some crazy stuff.
ouch.
But yeah, Anthony Davis and Santi Aldama got into it a little bit. Well, not really. I mean, Santi Aldama is trying to get a tech on AD, which he succeeded in, but he also got a tech. He was kind of just in his chest. And then Desmond Bain got in his face. Though. Oh, it was totally on purpose. He was baiting. He was wanting to get shoved.
Because he was close to him, but you could have went the other way, and he brought it into him, you know.
And then Spurs and the Thunder and the absolute clinic the Thunder put on with Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey is awesome.
Josh Giddey is not even the best player on that team, but he's still like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like he has to pull back because Shea is there. You know what I mean?
But dude, if the minutes without Shea is the Josh Giddey show, man. He had that he looks like Shaq called him the new Pistol Pete, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't agree more because he had one of those. I'm gonna fake it around the back to Chet, who was diving. It was a fast break. He's diving to the hoop, fakes it around the back, comes back as if he's gonna do a layup, and then gives it back to Chet for a dunk. Man, that guy can pass.
Would you label it as a he?
I do believe he did he, and then he went he.
Followed by a he.
Yes. I believe that was the name of the move.
I love that guy. And
I know you're big on him.
I know at the beginning, before the season started, there were rumors, I don't know how true it was, that if they were to move somebody to get like a veteran back on the team, he would be the one to move. I don't like that idea.
I had heard Zach Lowe just suggest that this team has too much similar talent, like you said, Shea and Giddey playing similar roles. But I just actually last night he walked back that statement and was like, I don't know if you can trade this guy, like he's that good. Where maybe now if you do have to, and the thing is, it's making a trade if you want to get better, like now, and like contend for a championship now.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy to trade. He said, Zach Lowe said, and I would agree. Of like the good young guys would be Dort probably.
Yeah.
Because you're not trading Shea, you're not trading Chet.
No.
So it really comes down to Jalen Williams, Giddey, and Jalen Williams, Giddey, and Dort. And I would definitely.
I would have to choose Dort.
He's great, but he's really good.
That's their defensive.
I know he's
specialist. He's
such a good defender, and their run with Canada over the summer for the FIBA World Cup was
that Canada
super
team was
impressive.
Nasty. That game got chippy too.
Yeah, the game got a little bit chippy. Sohan had a hard foul on. Well, this is the thing. It was not really a hard foul. I mean, it was hard, but it certainly wasn't a flagrant. To me, I don't remember if they called it a flagrant or not. It didn't look like anything bad. Like it just was a take foul on a fast break, and Chet hit his head on the floor as he fell. So it looked like he came up like
it looked worse
because he hurt his head. So things got a little chippy there. That was more towards the end of the game, and then the beginning of the game, or not the beginning, but like second quarter. Zach Collins and Kenrich Williams got into a little shoving match because Kenrich Williams also hard take foul on, I think, Chet again.
Collins also known for some pretty hard fouls.
Yeah. And this one was like, I'm not letting you score. I'm just going to drag you down. And it wasn't a play on the ball, but I guess it wasn't flagrant worthy to me. And then Kenrich Williams just kind of pushed him out of the way to help up his teammate.
Yeah.
And Zach Collins took offense to that and shoved him back hard. But then they worked it out like during the free throws. They were like, you could see them talking and they were smiling.
Okay,
so
it's cool. Like, it's good, man.
So it was cool. But that's going to be, I think Spurs and Thunder could be a super fun rivalry between. Chet and Wemby was actually a somewhat disappointing matchup.
Yeah.
Chet played really well. Wemby not so much. But
both still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they're young. It's gonna be good for years and years and years.
But you're right. Like the teams are kind of on the same timeline. Except I would probably put the Thunder a little more
definitely.
way more.
Yeah.
But like in terms of young talent, they both have really young talented players.
Sohan, man.
So they play the Suns in the in-season tournament on Friday, and he just said Devin Booker is the most least intimidating player in the NBA. He looks like a choir boy. I was like, okay, we'll see Friday.
Sohan has really embraced like the Dennis Rodman personality.
Villain time.
Yes. Even he's wearing number 10, although I think when Rodman spent like a handful of games with the Spurs. He wore 99, I think, or 90 something.
Or yeah, something like that.
But it is like the hair, the way he plays. It is very funny because it's like
I like that you said that. I did not really think about that.
He definitely reminds me.
Is Rodman.
Although they're using, Rodman wore 10. So even more similar.
Yeah.
But now they're using Sohan as a point guard, which is interesting. It's not working.
He's obviously a better scorer than Rodman.
Oh yeah, but he's a great rebound. He's a little undersized.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's still good at all the Rodman-y things. Great defender, dude. I think that guy.
He's great.
His jumper is coming. He's been hitting open threes more, and they're giving him to him because he's not a great shooter, but he's hitting them.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think he's got a bright future.
And what was I gonna say about him?
As bright as his hair.
Yeah, that's true. That's so crazy that he really is embracing the Rodman type of. That's what I was gonna say. So in fantasy, he has the randomest positions. So like if it's a point guard, shoot guard, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have a point guard, shooting guard, forward also,
like Luka.
Right? He's point guard, power forward.
Yeah,
What?
That seems like the fairest way to
I've never
do
seen
it
that.
because he's been starting as the point guard. He's the main ball handler, even though Devin Vassell has been starting
Shooting guard.
Yeah, I guess because they've been.
That's so weird.
Vassell had a small injury earlier in the year, so he came off the bench I think one game, but you would think he would be the starting guard, but no. Or Trey Jones, I think.
Trey Jones.
He's
That's
good.
right. Trey Jones is actually really good.
Tyus Jones' younger brother.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't have Keldon Johnson last night, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keldon Johnson also.
That's like one of their.
He's pretty
scorers.
good. Good scorer. I don't know where he'll top out. I think his expectations the last few years were higher than they are now. I think he's kind of just settled at where he's going to be, but. Yeah, that's going to be a fun rivalry for the next decade, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Well, as long as the Thunder can keep Chet and SGA, it's going to be
that'll be fun
competitive.
To watch.
And it's funny, they're really close geographically, like maybe a couple 100 miles apart, but the Thunder are in the Northwest Division because they just stayed there after moving from Seattle.
Yeah.
And the Spurs are in the Southwest, so they only get to play each other, not as often as one would like, probably. But let's get in to some recent releases of shoes, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
I know. We're changing it up. We're talking about shoes this week. First
sneaks and skirts.
I've got something kind of cool, little hype beastie, I would say.
Okay.
Coming out, or they by the time this podcast is out, they will be available for release through Adidas Confirmed. Mm-hmm. The Stan Smith and BAPE collaboration.
Beautiful.
These are celebrating BAPE's 30th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So, hence the little 30 charm.
Shout out BAPE and Nigo.
Yes.
The 30 is dope. Obviously, the embossed, what's it called? BAPE logo across the whole shoe.
Super cool.
Genius.
Super cool.
We said that last week, but Adidas is killing it.
Yeah, it seems like every week they have something new come out. You sent me a few weeks ago, they were doing another collaboration with Pharrell's brand, Human Race. Mm-hmm. Those look pretty sick.
Those are hard. Mm-hmm.
It was weird though. Not that this matters. I'm sure the quality of the shoe is good, but the official, like if you go to the Adidas website to buy the shoe, I think the picture of the shoe is like a drawing. It's not the shoe.
It's not the shoe?
It's like a 3D render.
Are they like teasing it or something?
But it's out. It's like you can buy it. So it was kind of weird when I was like, I'll not do the shoe.
What does it look like? Buy it.
It looks like this.
Almost.
But like, what about a real one? No, I don't have that.
I haven't had that yet.
Those are coming.
The shoe is a sketch.
But yeah, cool. Got this camo back there, which is, kind of signature.
Their signature gorilla is on the tongue there. Awesome.
That is the ape that is bathing.
Bathing ape.
Yes.
Bathing gorilla.
Bathing gorilla. Bagel. That's the name of the brand. Bagel. But yeah, these look pretty clean. They're also doing a black colorway, but these are already listed on Adidas Confirmed, but the black pair is not for whatever reason. So those should be out by the time this podcast drops.
Do you have a price?
$160, which
not bad.
Not terrible for like a super streetwear designer brand like BAPE. So
huge
Yeah.
Huge designer. And anything and everything BAPE is always like quadruple price after it comes out, just because of how huge it is, especially in Asia.
Yeah.
So this is a huge shoe to come out. I think I would definitely wear it.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're pretty sick.
And then their famous camo print in the back too, the way they,
And Stan Smith, a pretty iconic silhouette for Adidas. Probably one of their longest running silhouettes, I think.
Yeah, and it's since like the 70s or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And had a kind of like a resurgence over the last 5 years or so, and just never left. Kind of just it stuck around,
Moving along here, I wanted to highlight some more kind of streetwear shoes. So I've got a Vans. This is the Rowan 2. This is a skate shoe.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good looking.
It's chill.
Pretty good silhouette. Like you can tell, even if it didn't have the little logo there.
Yeah.
You could definitely right away be like, that's a Vans. But it looks, I think, different enough from like the old school.
They have to, because they don't want it to look too much like the older models.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the blue pair. There's also this all black, which is to me not as good. The lace.
I like the blue colorway better.
Yeah, the laces kind of throw it off for me. Actually, looks like they just kind of get lost there. These are the signature shoe for Rowan Zorilla, who is from Vista,
He's a skater.
California. He is a Vans sponsored skater, and this is his second shoe. Yeah, so this is the black pair, which look a little bit. I don't know, the laces. The material on the laces almost with the material of the tongue make it look a little weird.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is
I do like the other color better.
And they have one more colorway as well. This kind of
I like
gray
that.
one. The gray one's nice. This top down view.
That reminds me more of like the 90s style.
Yeah, yeah. And as you mentioned, this is featuring the impact waffle for the material in the shoe to help kind of keep it comfy, I guess, for the skaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rowan Zorilla, he's this is his signature shoe, and
that's awesome.
First one was released in 2020, so I guess
So he's been around.
He's been around, yeah. I'm not really sure. When I was looking him up, it seems like he hasn't competed in a while. Obviously, I guess
is he older?
I don't think he's old. Like he looks like 20s.
Okay, maybe he got hurt or something.
Yeah, he hasn't competed in a while, but I think it's also kind of one of those things where it's like if you're a skater, you don't have to compete. Once you're sponsored, you can just like make your videos
you have to be in
or whatever.
Every competition.
Yeah. I was trying to see if he did any like Team USA stuff now that skating's in the Olympics, but it didn't appear so. It's a little bit difficult to tell.
So that this is also their new cushion insole right there, VR3 Cush, 50% bio-based EVA midsole. Cool. Again, shout out to Vans for improving the inside and the sole of their shoes to. I mean, people are gonna
a little more durable.
Yeah, durable. People are gonna want to buy it more now that it's not just a regular Van.
I think too, like, if you buy a pair of Vans, you almost buy them with the expectation, like, I'm gonna beat these up.
Yeah,
these are going to be.
That's an everyday.
Yeah. But these are available for $110. They released in late October, so pretty new here. But yeah, something a little more casual.
Yeah,
a little expensive for a Vans.
I was just gonna say, notice the price went up. More material, better, cushioning.
Better
like
material,
I said, so. Gotta do that.
And then I've got, going back towards the hype, I've got one more pair that just released.
Okay, in my head, I think I know what it is. I don't, because I love that Julian doesn't tell me what these are.
I do not. It's a complete surprise.
Yeah, it's the best.
Super hyped release that just came out on sneakers earlier this week. The Off-White Air Force One Maize. These are
so crazy.
So crazy.
There's maybe, I want to say maybe like 4 colorways of this. There's like a green.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of the Air Force One mid and the Off-White collaborations. They did the Terror Squad one.
Terror Squad.
Yeah.
There's also, I mean, it's obviously, this is all Virgil's. Rest in peace, Virgil. His design, especially with the extra lacing here.
Yeah.
He does all this with the extra stuff on the side, and then that's his almost like his signature. It's like the stamp.
Yeah, it's almost like a stamp, and it's like it's almost like labeling almost. You
Yes.
know? Like on some of them it says like lace or
Yeah, and
hair.
that's usually that was kind of like his thing. So that's usually what you would put on like a sample shoe. So it's kind of like, okay, let's put it on this and just kind of be obvious. Like, like he'll write Drake's name on it. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But I mean, cool design. It's more of like a high fashion type of thing.
Yes.
Which I'm not really much of a fan of these off-whites, but I do like the other ones.
Yeah, these ones, I personally would not be. I don't go to places where I could wear these. I guess let's put it that way.
If I gifted you these, would you wear them?
For you.
I wish I wasn't wearing these damn shoes.
I hate you.
I hate you.
Why did you make me wear these to Universal Studios?
Canary yellow, you said? This is like a canary yellow.
It's similar. People are saying it's similar, but they're calling it a Varsity Maize.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's not as... Canary
yeah.
yellow is more brighter, I feel like.
Yeah. So they're calling it a Maize. I think they're kind of trying to pay homage to like the original Nike schools.
Yeah.
Like as they have been doing. They're doing a lot of school-based releases, like the Tuskegee Terminators and the Tennessee State. I think Tennessee State Terminators.
How did you like those two?
The Tuskegee ones are sick.
Crazy.
They look super well done, but the Tennessee ones I didn't really get.
Yeah.
Like it was like zebra print and then blue and red. So
yeah, I didn't understand that either.
I didn't understand it, but I'm sure there's something behind it.
Cool for them though, if you go to that school,
These are out for $205.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that's a lot. But like you said, it's a high fashion thing.
And
so.
also, if you're a huge fan of Off-White and Virgil, good collection piece.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, there's other colorways of this. So if you completed your set, shout out to you because it's like I said, it's a cool collection piece.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're a collector, or if you're a big Off-White collector, this would be another one on the list. And now, my favorite new thing that we do, that I make you do, really. Cop?
Police? Police?
Or let it go.
Or let it go. Cop or drop. I said not last week. What a loser.
Yeah, I almost had to get in AJ.
I saw steam coming out of your ear.
Yeah, my face went red and I made a train horn sound.
I'm very excited. I don't know what it is.
I'm keeping it similar to last week's.
Okay.
These are both. One of them is still available now, albeit in limited sizes because it's running out. Still available on StockX, both of them for similar, I think, reasonable prices, similar to retail.
So the resale price didn't really go up on that pair you're talking about?
It actually is probably a better deal right now on StockX than it was for retail. And it is the Jordan 5s.
Ooh. I already know how you feel about these.
We did talk about these briefly a few weeks ago, but I wanted to see, we haven't talked about the navy pair. Which, interestingly, on StockX, they're calling a Georgetown. They're calling it Jordan 5 Georgetown.
I can see that.
I kind of see it, but I usually feel like Georgetown is more gray.
I was going to say, maybe that's the gray.
I know, it's very subtle, I guess.
StockX could probably make up their name, too. You know what I mean?
Both. So I did check. So the blue pair, there's mostly smaller sizes left on Nike, which they're retailing for also $205, which... seems like a lot for a Jordan
5 is one of the more expensive ones, along with 11. And
on StockX right now for size 10 in both, they're estimating around 170.
Okay.
So
not bad.
Not terrible. No.
I think you're gonna end up, with all the fees and stuff, you're still gonna end up spending like $200.
Yeah.
But better than it being $200 and then the fees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we spoke about this off camera. I do love the materials. The colorway was perfectly executed on this shoe. I think it could have been easily way too much blue on the upper, but I think it looks good like that because of the suede.
Yeah.
And the black. And then it has the shoe lock on the old school shoe lock on both of them. This one's clear though, which is kind of cool.
It is different, yeah.
And I can see this shoe being worn in the NBA or in college games. A lot of these shoes I don't really see people would wear in a game or anything. But I could definitely see like a blue team wearing, like the Magic or something, wearing that.
Yeah, someone on the Magic. Maybe is Bankero. Is he a Jordan athlete?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then the Burgundies are an OG, not super OG, but like an older classic.
Yeah.
Like, that has been released before. Another colorway that I like a lot. That is a tough one, just because history and then beauty. I'm gonna go. Damn.
Tough one.
The OG heads will hate me for this. I'm probably gonna go cop the Midnight Navies and then drop the Burgundies. Even though I do like the Burgundies.
I know you do. I would agree with you though. I just think the navies. I think the colorway is done better.
Yeah.
A little bit. Although I gotta say I like the contrasting stitching of the burgundy.
Yes.
I like the white stitching. Where if you had that on this, I think that would make it even. To me, it would make it even better. On the navies.
But I think both perfectly executed. Obviously, they wanted to go more with one solid color on the burgundies, which is why the shoe holes are also burgundy, as opposed to that over there that's black.
Yeah.
But both beautiful shoes.
Yeah.
Good choices, dude. You made me think on that one.
That was a thinker. Yeah. I mean, overall, I think Jordan 5s aren't my super favorite.
A little on the bulky side.
Yeah.
But
I wanted to do those olive Jordan 4s that are coming out.
Ooh.
I think they'll be out by the time that this podcast.
Oh, the one
is
we were
out.
Talking about.
Yeah, but I'm like, I know he'll pick that no matter what.
Easy. 4 Jordan 4.
Okay, skip on to the next one.
Cop.
Well, thank you for copying or dropping.
Good choices,
Copying
bro.
and dropping.
You haven't missed yet.
Let us know, guys, next week if there's a shoe that you'd like us to play a little cop or drop with. We want to keep this going, so.
Or let us know which one of these you would choose. Which one you would cop and drop.
Yeah, but like we said, both pretty available right now for a decent price. So if this is something you guys are interested in, check it out.
Check it out.
Have some links in the description. And then now on to the shoes you picked for this week in the NBA, the National Basketball
Association of
Sports.
Plates.
The Heat on the feet. And we are starting with a LA favorite. He's quickly become an LA favorite. The Samurai.
Yeah.
Rui Hachimura. And the Hollywood Knight. I guess is that Hollywood Knights? I think so.
The jersey?
Yeah.
Is it Hollywood Knight or
that's
is
what we called the old black ones? Yeah, I think it's the City edition now. Yeah. But yeah, here he is. This was during the in-season tournament game earlier this week on Tuesday against the Grizzlies, which was a blowout. And he is wearing
the Black Samurais Jordan 36,
which is his kind of signature shoe, I guess.
Yeah, but it technically be for him. I know before Luka got his shoe, he wore the 36 also.
Yeah,
and a couple of Jordan guys.
So I was reading that when they released the Jordan 36 in 2020, they had some of their younger players have signature models essentially of the 36. So Luka had the Matador, which he has continued to have Matador Jordans.
Yep.
And then Tatum was the third guy, and he had a 36 inspired by a 66 Mustang, I read. And then this was the last pair, Rui's Black Samurai.
Yeah, made for to represent his Japanese heritage.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And this one came out, and then maybe a year or two after, they came out with the Jordan 8 with the straps.
Yeah,
the same
I saw
colorway
that.
Also.
Yeah.
It's so cool that they do colorways like that for the players.
Yeah.
And he's had kind of he's also had a couple a rising and resurgence in his career also. He was kind of just there in Washington, and being with the Lakers and LeBron has helped his career a lot, I feel like.
Really turned things around. I think, unfortunately, shout out Wizards, but getting out of Washington is kind of...
Yeah.
It's gonna save your career.
Yeah, Bradley Beal.
Well, we'll see. I don't actually. I didn't pay attention really to the Suns. I'll have to look that up. I was pretty busy yesterday, but I'll have to look up how the Suns finally played with their big three last night. For the first time.
They scored 133 last night.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good.
They whooped on the T-Wolves.
Oh, they play the Timberwolves, the number 1 seed in the West. That's a good matchup.
They're like 9-2 or something like that, or 8-2 or something.
Well, I guess now 8-3.
Oh, yeah,
but yeah, they were first in the West because they had beat the Timberwolves. I mean, they are the Timberwolves. They beat the Nuggets in the early part of the season here. So
and they were streaking a little bit too. So
they look really good. Anthony Edwards. I think it's good that Cat has kind of accepted
that the second fiddle.
I'm the second guy.
Yeah.
And in some ways, really the third, because their offense, from what I've heard, I haven't watched a lot of Timberwolves, is really focused around the Ant Gobert pick and roll.
Yeah.
So Cat is doing what he says he is the best at, which is shooting, which I think works out well for all parties. But
and he's actually having a good season.
It's an adjustment for sure. I mean, to have to swallow your pride like that, I think takes a lot. We'll see. I still have my own doubts about Cat in particular, as far as his mentality and like winning.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And which has also been spoken of.
Here's a close up at the Jordan 36s. Oh, super nice.
It's
man.
Really nice. Dude.
Kind of an interesting looking shoe for Jordan too. Like it looks a little bit different. I actually kind of see this. I feel like this definitely inspired the Tatum one.
I think so too.
It's got that same kind of body.
Definitely
the mesh body.
The shape is definitely in that family.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which makes sense given that Tatum had his own signature pair of these.
But I think the essence of the shoe, like the one that stands out the most, is that shade of beige or brown.
Super interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it is so good, and it goes perfectly with that red. And you know what I mean?
These did release, I think, right? Like you were able to buy these, so they're on StockX right now. Again, size 10 for $194.
Really?
Not too terrible. That's the estimate. I think it's StockX gives you like an estimate based on like the last sale and what people are charging now. So I think it'll always depend on the seller, but
that's surprising to me though, because
it's a unique shoe,
right? And it's super unique, special colorway for one player. The box is the design of the box. I don't know who the artist was, but they drew like a samurai on the box and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
It's gorgeous, dude. So I mean, I'm kind of surprised, but the resale game has kind of taken a little bit of a hit.
Seems like it.
Get your shoes now, people.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Rui in this game against the Grizzlies, like I mentioned, Lakers won 134-107, and Rui had a great game off the bench. 23 points, 3 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 2 fouls, and 8 of 10 from the field, including a perfect 3 for 3 from 3. So great game for Rui, which I think was important, because I kind of had my doubts when the Lakers traded for him, just because I was high on him in Washington and he didn't really meet those expectations. And then last year in the playoffs, he was obviously fantastic for the Lakers. And I kind of was, in a way, I wasn't really expecting that to continue. I kind of thought he was just going to go back to how he was in Washington. But man, great game. He had a pretty good game last night. So...
Yeah,
on keeping on, Rui.
Yeah, good for him. I saw a cool, I guess you can call it a stat, last night. It was in 2019, Rui got drafted 8, and then Jackson Hayes got drafted 9.
That sounds right.
And then 10 was Cam Reddish, and then they're all on the Lakers now.
Ah, that's
it's
weird.
So crazy.
That's really weird.
And so all 3 of them are the 2019 draft. What a trip.
Cam Reddish, I owe you an apology.
Yes.
Making me eat my words. I'm very sorry.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because the last 2 Laker games, I was thinking every time Julian said stop playing somebody, they ended up playing good. Like the first one was Christian Wood, and then after that he played good, and then he's playing bad again. But then and then you're like, stop playing Cam Reddish, and now he's awesome.
They should stop playing Anthony Davis. He's terrible.
Christian Wood looked awful last night, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Bad matchup for Christian Wood.
Yeah.
Sabonis is a really hard
Even
Played
AD
a
could not
guard.
guard Sabonis last night. It was
Sabonis
bad.
was playing like out of his mind yesterday. He's so good. And De'Aaron Fox, man.
Speed kills, man.
Yes, dude.
No one can guard him on the
He's
Lakers.
so fast, and when he stops for that pull up, get out of here. Goodbye.
You're still going. You know? Wait. Yeah, that's it. That team is coached very well, and they
Yes.
finally have the talent. So look out for those guys.
I did see this stat last night. Mike Brown is in the top 10 for winning percentage of a coach with a minimum of, I think, 600 games coached, which is super impressive. I mean, he's always been a good coach. I feel like he gets. I have given him some grief sometimes just because I felt like, he had LeBron and messed that up.
Exactly how
he
I
had the
feel.
Lakers with Kobe, and not that team was great, but he had Kobe and Dwight and Steve Nash and messed that up. So I'm glad to see him doing really well in his own with starting from scratch essentially.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves in this game against the Grizzlies had a good game. 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists off the bench.
One of his better games.
David Roddy had 17 points for the Grizzlies. That was kind of their highlight of that night. Moving along to another shoe here. One we have talked about previously, but this model is pretty nice. The Anta 5.
Where are the others?
The Anta 5. The Anta Shockwave 5 Pro. And this is the way they're listing it on Anta's shop is Kyrie Irving and with Anta. So it's almost like a collaboration, even though he's an Anta player now. This is Kyrie Irving wearing the all-black pair.
The Black Knight.
They look super nice.
They did a great job with the shiny material. I feel like they kind of overly did that and just looked too crazy. But it looks, again, I don't really like all black shoes. It's too much black for me. But this pops to me.
Yeah, I usually like all black shoes, but I get what you mean. Like, these do have a kind of a pop to them is a good way to describe it.
I think it's because the shape of the shoe is awesome. I love it.
They are selling these right now, but I don't know anyone that can afford them.
Can I borrow
$300 for it's not like a special. It's just the retail pair. They have other model or colorways of this model, but yeah, $300 for this pair of shoes. That is a lot of money. That is so much money. Kyrie laced these up. This is from the season opener, actually.
Yeah.
He hasn't worn them since then. He's been wearing this nice kind of pink and purple pair lately, and in addition to that feline pair we looked at last week. But this game was against the Spurs on October 25th, and he had 22 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, and 3 fouls on 10 of 24 shooting. Only 1 of 8 from 3 though, but I think he's actually gotten better since this opener.
I was just gonna say that.
There's another close up.
I was just gonna say that he's actually having a pretty good season. He's been playing. A lot of players have been playing back-to-backs this year too. I wonder if that has anything to do with the in-season, but
just get rid of back-to-backs. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I like back-to-backs as a concept. I think it shows your mental fortitude as a team. If you can win a back-to-back, especially on the road, those are always incredibly tough games. But if the player, like you said, the players are playing back-to-backs, but historically in the last 5 years, they haven't been. So if that continues, I would say just get rid of them.
They play 5 a year, right? Or something like that?
Something like that.
4 to 5?
Down way from what it was before.
Yeah.
I remember I think it was the lockout year, 2012, 2011, 2012. I think they tried to shove in, not 82, but more games than they would do. And they had back-to-back-to-back nights, I think. Which is insane.
That's crazy.
If memory serves, I'll have to look that up. But I remember at least there was a talk about how are we going to fit all the games in, and it's
in terms of
not that way.
In terms of recovery, dang.
How could you do it?
Yeah. Also, a trip is this kind of looks like the Nike, one of the Nike Kyries.
Oh,
the shape.
Really?
But again, I like the shoe. I like the design. They did a lot of. You see these little designs here.
Yeah, there's a lot of little stuff there.
I would imagine Kyrie fell in love with how they pitched it to him too, and said, "Okay, you have your own influence on this too." And I mean, he made a good choice, I think.
It's gonna be interesting to see once they give him his own line. Presumably they will. I mean, he's I think a bigger star than Clay right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not. I don't know. Actually, I'm sure he's big in China and stuff too, where Clay is
big time.
super big. But so I'm curious to see when and if they give him his own shoe. I'm sure
it'll be soon. I think.
Compare how it looks to this and previous Kyrie's.
Stay tuned.
Stay Looney Tunes.
Stay Looney Tunes. The Earth is flat.
That's so yeah. And then the last shoe you sent me. There's a few things about this last shoe you sent me.
Yeah, I want to hear.
I'll show it because I'm sure for most of the people out there, if I cover up the name right there, what is this? Like, if I show this to you, you'd be like, what?
I'd be like, no. When I first saw it, I said, oh, cool, the Tatum. I was like, but I was like, let me first start by saying, Aaron Gordan, kind of another guy. It's a theme here now. He brought his career up from Orlando.
Yeah. Yes. Getting out of the
known as just a dunker.
Yeah.
And he plays his part on that Nuggets team, has a championship. I think he deserves a shoe, definitely, but it looks too much like the Tatum to me.
Well, this is the thing that when you sent me this, this is what caught me off guard. Is not only is this Aaron Gordon's signature shoe, which I'm like, Aaron Gordon has a signature shoe? This is the fourth. This is the AG4. And then the third thing I was like, I don't understand, is that the company is called 361 Degrees.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Never heard.
In my entire life. I did look them up. They're a Chinese, I think more fitness and like wellness brand.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Like Anta too.
They're about 20 years into their corporate life. And Aaron Gordon is definitely the biggest and only star as far as like NBA talent. Not a bad looking shoe,
but again, shout out to those. I do see
the Tatum, yeah.
Shout out to those companies like Li Ning and them reaching out and getting NBA players, and now they have this guy who's an NBA champion.
NBA champion, and he looks, man, he's just a perfect fit with Jokic.
Big body, man.
He dives. He can body people, like just get people out of the way. Like
can get you a bucket.
He can get his own if he needs to. Yeah, He's pretty dang good, man.
But I don't hate it. Like I said, it looks like a Tatum, and I love the Tatum. I like the sleekness of it, the narrowness of it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously like a sock liner too, which is cool. I love that. Nice, yeah. Which means it's gonna hug your foot. And I don't hate the guy, but I hate the Nuggets.
True.
Yeah.
Another thing that I had questions about is that this colorway is called Be Water. It's.
I was gonna say Bruce Lee.
And it really does look like a Bruce Lee colorway. But yeah, this is the Be Water colorway. I guess Be Wet, Be Liquid. I don't know what they're going for. Doesn't look like water to me. The blue pair.
I got nothing.
The blue pair was called. It was like a blue. It had some camo on it in the mesh there. It's called Backyard. Don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Right.
Here he is in the Be Water ones.
How do you like them on foot?
They're nice. They're kind of they're cool. It almost kind of looks like a taxi. Like even his logo acts like a wheel, kind of. Hey, Aaron Gordon, give me a ride. Dylan the Villain
in there.
D'ing up AG, and the Rockets actually won this game, handing the Nuggets their second loss of the season.
I don't know if they played last night, but they were on a 6-game win streak.
The Rockets?
Yeah,
they're surprisingly
like
okay.
Yeah. I mean, not bad.
This was November 12th, and Aaron Gordon had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls on 6 of 10 shooting. Really great game for him.
That's a very Aaron Gordon game.
And Jokic had 36 points, 21 rebounds, and 11 assists.
And that is a weekday for Joker.
I don't know how they lost, man.
I know. Crazy.
Sengun had a pretty good game. He had 20 or so points. And then this is the pair you sent me, so I wanted to highlight these. This is kind of like another all-black pair.
Got Harden's in the back there, too.
Harden's in the back there. which, man, they look... I didn't realize how similar those Hardens look to Anthony Edwards' shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly similar.
Like, super similar. And then we got a Skechers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely want to talk about... We've teased the Skechers a little bit. I want to talk about them more. It looks like maybe Joel... They were supposed to be in line to sign Joel Embiid, but there's been no traction on that. He's still wearing his Under Armour signature shoe, so...
But Joel Embiid is killing it also. And that Philly team looks awesome.
Lost to the Celtics last night, which is got to be just a recurring nightmare
Celtics are the
for
best.
Embiid at this point. Celtics are the best.
They're the best team in the East right now.
This was...
Cool picture, though, man. You got a bunch of good shoes in there.
Yeah, some interesting stuff. This was just on the 14th during the tournament play. I hate those Nuggets jerseys. Their court isn't terrible, but like I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. AG, another good game.
Don't get heated.
I can't not. Aaron Gordan, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. 1 foul and 8 of 12 from the field. The Nuggets won by 3 after the Paul George game winner wedgie. Game winning attempt.
Watch that.
Yeah, that was bad.
They were losing by a lot. They fought back very well, but they just didn't have it in the end.
The Clippers will figure it out. I just don't think it's gonna. This is the team to beat in the West, and they will not.
No.
Like they're going to be way too small. This lineup probably that was on the field right now for them was probably Kawhi, Paul George, Terrence Mann, Harden, and
Zubats?
and Russ maybe.
Oh, Russ, yeah.
But yeah, it could be Zoo, but like just not big enough. When Zoo leaves and they're signing.
Yeah.
Daniel Tice got bought out by the Pacers
to
sign with the Clippers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
I didn't know that he's going to the Clippers.
Yeah,
cool.
He's going to sign with the Clippers to be their backup center until Mason Plumlee comes back. He ended up spraining his MCL, so he's going to be out for a while. And then they're signing a guard as well. Let me see.
Making moves.
And Josh Primo.
Oh, he's been doing good in the G League.
We'll see what happens with him. He got let go by the Spurs for sexual misconduct, I
forgot about that.
Like double-digit counts. So,
who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, he was not terrible when he was with the Spurs, but
interesting thing.
Bad rep.
Interesting thing was the end of this game. Ty Lue subbed out Russ for Harden, and they showed Russ going to the bench, and he was pissed.
Well, that's going to be the hardest part for Ty Lue. PJ Tucker has already come out and said he's unhappy with his minutes, and he's played 6 games with the Clippers.
He literally came here with Harden and played, took over like a role already. You know what I mean?
And he's already. I mean, I don't know who they were playing instead of PJ Tucker. I guess maybe Plumlee before he got injured, but he had said he was unhappy with his minutes. Now he's playing more because he's essentially the backup 5. We'll see what happens now that Tice and Primo are there. Primo is an interesting signing because I also read a report that Tyronn Lue, or maybe I heard it during this game, Tyronn Lue told Bones Highland, "You're not playing. You're out of the rotation."
Which is weird because Bones Highland is such a good player.
I think he's really good. I think he's a defensive liability, but I think he's a bucket. I really like him. I've been high on him. I know a lot of the NBA media guys have been not high on him, to say the least. So,
I mean, I liked him. You have Terrence Mann, so it's kind of like, will Primo just sit on the bench, probably, just in case?
I guess, yeah. Maybe he's just
Russ is there,
just an insurance policy. But yeah, I think Harden ended up with 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and he was 3 for 8 from 3, which I think is good. He's got to take that. That's going to be the hardest part. Is that for Kawhi and Harden, they're not used to having to take like wide open shots, which doesn't sound like it would be a problem, but like when you're Harden and you're used to having to dribble and stuff to get your bucket, and Kawhi has to back down. Yeah, you're not used to being a catch and shoot guy, which is why I think Paul George is playing so well. They'll figure it out. Yeah. I honestly think. I mean, it's Kawhi's team. He's the best player. Yeah. But if it was me, I would try and sell him on letting Harden run things.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So if you had the Philly Harden when they were at their best, when he was just distributing, I think that's how they'll be successful here.
I think if it was me,
And then he'll score, obviously. But...
Harden is not the Harden from the Rockets. He's not the MVP candidate that he was when he was on that team. But I would almost let him play that way. I would at least try it, considering you're 0-5 now since he's been playing. Like I would try and have him just have the ball in his hands as much as possible, and then get off-ball actions for Kawhi and PG and see what happens. Because like those Rockets team were good. Now if you have Kawhi and Paul George as the shooters,
but how do you
deadly.
But how do you feel just leaving them there on the court?
I mean, you're wasting your money. You're wasting a ton of money.
And we all know this guy, when he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't like to move.
He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything.
He's gonna have to buy in too when he doesn't. It's gonna the personality management. I do not envy Tyronn Lue right now, man.
Have fun,
like
Ty.
you said, Russ is gonna be pissed.
You got some disgruntled players. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know this sounds crazy too, and it will never happen. But I also thought it would be sick to bring Harden off the bench, because then he can just play Harden ball. And
that's a great idea.
And he's come off the bench before on really good teams. I know he was before that was in OKC, but like way back in the day. But do
you think he would receive that
not
well?
A chance.
I don't think so either.
He never would.
It would be like a Melo type of thing. Like I'm not doing that.
He's got the Melo personality. He's not going to be Chris Paul, who is granted much older and at a different stage in his career. He's just not going to do that.
I agree.
But that's all I got. There's another close-up of the All Blacks.
Not bad.
Which do look good. I mean, if you put this up versus the Antas, I'd be like, I don't know.
Also, black shoes,
black socks. Yeah. How
Very
about
good,
that?
Aaron.
But yeah, the Nuggets look really good. Jokic
I hate it.
He had 32 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists in that win over the Clippers. Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
What is that?
Real quick, to just continue my rant on the in-season tournament, jerseys and courts. The thing that I have brought up many times is that I don't know who's... Like, if I was a casual fan, I wouldn't know who's playing.
Yeah.
And my wife was watching the end of the Clippers-Nuggets game with me, and she said, I thought the Warriors were playing because the court was blue and yellow.
Yeah.
And the jerseys were black and blue and a little bit of yellow. It's like, she's not a huge fan. If I showed her probably like a older Nuggets jersey or just a blue and yellow, she might be able to get to there. Yeah. She would have a short list. Yeah. You know, she'd be able to get it.
She'd probably figure it out way faster. Clue.
Then, oh man, this was kind of sad. The Thunder Spurs game was such a blowout. Yeah. And was kind of boring because it was like a bunch of bench guys. That TNT started just showing other games. I've never seen this before.
Really?
I've seen them do that when a game ends early. They'll go to other games while they wait for the next one to start. This was the middle of the third. They're like, all right, here's what's happening around the league. Boston or Philly's in a close one with Indiana. Let's go there, watch that for a few minutes. Yeah. And then they went to a game, and it was Utah. I could tell it was Utah, and they were playing some team on a red and gray court. The team was wearing black and blue and red and orange and green jerseys, and I was like, I didn't know who they were playing. And then I saw they were talking about a Thompson twin. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's the Rockets.
Oh, Sar?
It must be they're wearing black and red. It must be the Rockets. Yeah. No, it was the Pistons. I had not a single clue it was the Pistons. No. This is the main problem. I think with these special courts and stuff. I think, and the jerseys too, and especially, this is maybe a little dumb, I don't like it that only the home team wears their tournament jersey. I have both teams wear it.
Have both teams wear it.
I don't know. I'm not.
Do you think maybe it's because they don't have a home and away city jersey?
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, and like the Nuggets were all black with a little bit of blue and yellow. True. I don't know what the Clippers are. I think they've had a home game for the tournament. I'm actually not sure. But like, I'm assuming their jerseys look different. They shouldn't look the same. You know, like.
How about I just want to add the in-season tournament jersey of the Wizards.
Oh yeah.
I did not know it was the Wizards.
No,
because it says District of Columbia, but I mean, I'm like, what the color in terms of the colors? What is it?
It's just on the on-court product. Maybe off the court, like maybe owning one of those jerseys looks cool and like maybe they're making more money off of these extra jerseys, but the on-court product, some of the courts are a little harsh.
I would say the courts are worse than the jerseys.
Generally, yeah. I mean, I just think it's like jarring sometimes. Yeah. It's like, dude, I'll have to put up a picture and I'll show you. The Pelicans court, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I still haven't seen it.
I'll have to show you. I'll put up a picture for y'all. crazy. I had heard that they had a Halloween themed mascot for Halloween. It was like the pelican, but it was like a skeleton. Skeleton
That's
pelican.
cool. Yeah.
And I thought that I was like, oh, maybe they're doing another Halloween thing for their court. But I'm like, wait, it's the middle of November.
Fall?
It's not fall.
No.
It looks like a zombie court. I'll show you.
Yeah.
We'll show you guys. I hate to rant about this every week, but when I did not realize that I didn't realize until the next day when I saw more highlights that it was the Pistons. I thought the whole time it was a Rockets Jazz game. So I was just pissed at myself. I was pissed at the league. I'm like, this is madness.
When it comes to the tournament as a whole, that's where I think they messed up. But also, the games have been competitive and exciting, and the players have seemed to been competitive themselves about it. And I think that's the important part, I guess, because they're caring about it. Next year, just get better jersey designers.
Whatever. Good week. I think it's going to be a more fun week. As the tournament progresses, I think it is working, which is good. I'm curious to see about the knockout round, which is coming up shortly. See how that goes.
Yeah, like Memphis is already out. They lost 3 games.
Yeah, there's some teams that are out. I think the Clippers technically could come back.
They need to win the next one.
They need to win the next one, and then if somehow everyone else in their bracket also loses, I think. Then they can get in, and but they have to have a good point differential.
The differential
and that's going to be
too.
the hardest part. Is that's the second tiebreaker or the first tiebreaker, is point differential. So that's cool. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Tough hill to climb.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Good stuff. Looking forward to doing it again next week.
We do by Monday, by when this episode comes out, we will have been at Complex Con. So be ready for some cool content and stuff that
and a lot of it.
That stuff that we'll be shooting over there. There was a lot of new brands and shoes and artists that will be there. So we're gonna do our best to try to get in touch with them. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. This is episode 29. We'll see you next week. Oh yeah! Yes! Yes!
My day is ruined.
I'm calling out of work.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm at your house.
I'm at your house.
But can you pick me up, please?